The sun was barely up, painting the sky over Willow Grove a soft pink, when I stepped onto my front porch with a mug of coffee that could wake a coma patient. I'm Jack Harlan, former Marine, now sheriff of this sleepy Texas town where the biggest crime is usually a misplaced recycling bin. Retirement was supposed to mean fishing trips and barbecues, not dealing with clipboard-wielding tyrants. But at 7:03 a.m., there was Greg Larson, president of our HOA, strutting across my lawn like he owned it, his polo shirt tucked so tight it looked like it was strangling him. He waved a citation at me, his eyes gleaming with the kind of zeal you see in people who've just discovered power and don't know how to quit. "You're under citizen's arrest for trespassing," he barked, pointing at my flagpole, which apparently violated some obscure rule in the Willow Grove residential charter. I stood there in my boxers, mug in hand, and blinked. "Greg, this is my yard," I said, slow and steady, the way you talk to someone holding a lit firecracker. He didn't budge. "This is communal land, and you're in violation." The sprinkler sputtered between us like it was trying to mediate. I set my mug down, pulled my sheriff's badge from my robe pocket, and held it up. "Jack Harlan, sheriff of Travis County." I saw the law here. The silence was golden. Old Mrs. Clara, rocking on her porch across the street, cackled so hard she nearly fell over. Greg's clipboard drooped like a wilted flower, but he mumbled something about a fine and waddled off, his cargo shorts screaming defeat. I thought that was the end of it, just another suburban clown with too much time. But Greg wasn't just drunk on bylaws. He was the kind of guy who'd laminate his grocery list. By Monday, a DULA $255 fine for improper lawn edging was taped to my garage. My German Shepherd, Max, peed on it before I could rip it down. Then came a warning for my welcome mat, a citation for non-neutral porch lights, and a rule against Max barking after 9 p.m. It wasn't about rules anymore. It was war. My daughter, Lily, 17 and sharper than a tack, started digging into the HOA's website. She found missing meeting minutes, weird cash transfers, and payments to something called Plot 19 maintenance. Nobody knew where Plot 19 was. Neighbors whispered about Greg's iron grip. Mrs. Thompson's gazebo got torn down for aesthetic disruption, and a vet named Collins had to paint over his army tank mural. The Wilsons vanished overnight after questioning HOA dues, their house left eerily perfect, like a stage photo. Lily showed me an old article. Willow Grove was built on land from a bankrupt developer. And guess who their regional manager was? Greg Larson. It got creepier. Greg installed camera small black orbs by mailboxes, one aimed at my driveway. No notice, no warrant. A new rule banned dogs over 20 pounds from shared grounds, which included sidewalks and easements. Max, at 85 pounds, was now a criminal. The neighborhood turned into a dystopian summer camp, with signs screaming dog-size enforcement and fines for everything from festive lights to Clara's creaky rocking chair. People stopped talking openly, scared of Greg's next memo. Lily, my tech wizard, got creative. She didn't hack the HOA site, she just borrowed the admin panel and turned Greg's profile into Overlord Larson, bringer of beige, complete with a hamster in a general's hat. The neighborhood roared with laughter. Even the HOA secretary sent a winky emoji. But the real find was an anonymous envelope in my mailbox, a faded land deed for Willow Grove, with Plot 19 circled in red. It didn't exist on any map. I took it to my deputy, Mike, who said, "This screams fraud. Who's paying for this ghost land?" Things escalated fast. Lily found a server in Greg's shed, stuffed with shadow HOA records bylaws, payments to fake vendors, all mismatched with public files. Mike went undercover as a new resident, birdwatcher, VY Bess and all, complete with a fake hiking Instagram Lily whipped up. He reported sketchy cash approvals and Greg's growing paranoia. Then Lily cracked an email from Greg to a guy named Victor Hayes, ex-CEO of a shady real estate firm. It read, "No inspections near 19. If they find a leak, we're done." Leak? I sent Mike to check environmental records while I scouted the greenbelt behind Willow Grove, a so-called swamp fenced off with barbed wire. It wasn't a swamp. I found an overgrown access road, recent tire tracks, and a gas line marker that shouldn't exist. Mike dug up a 22-year-old zoning dispute claiming a gas leak was buried before Willow Grove was built. The inspection that cleared it? Signed by Victor Hayes' company. Plot 19 was a cover UPA toxic liability. Greg wasn't just controlling the HOA. He was hiding a disaster. Then I got suspended. A letter from the town council cited abuse of authority and harassment. Greg had pull, and he was desperate. Lily was leave VYD. Mike wanted to storm the council, but I knew we had to go rogue. We planned to break into Plot 19 not with crowbars, but with proof. Mike found blueprints showing a vault 50 feet underground, labeled for utilities but built like a bunker. Lily filed fake maintenance requests for a sewage leak, and Greg, clueless, approved it. At dusk, we slipped through the fence. Lily jammed the cameras with a contraption made from a baby monitor and spare phone parts. Mike and I pried open a moss-covered hatch, descending a rusty ladder into a concrete chamber. The air stank of chemicals. We found crates of canisters labeled Devon Corp., Hazard Class C, industrial waste from a company known for cover-ups. Safety logs, forged inspections, and payments tied to Greg and Hayes. We snapped photos, but Lily's walkie crackled. Security's coming. We bolted. We VYing through trees as flashlights swept the path. That night, Lily uploaded everything to an encrypted server. Mike sent a VY Denke to a local news outlet, and I called a state environmental agent. At the next HOA meeting, the room was a powder keg. I walked in with folders and Mike by my side. Greg sat with his hired goons, but they looked shaky. I laid it all out, the vault, the chemicals, the fraud. I played a VY Deo of the canisters. The crowd gasped. Clara yelled, "Arrest that son of a clipboard." Greg tried to bolt, claiming legal action, but nobody bought it. As he shoved through chairs, a squad car pulled up. The acting sheriff cuffed him after he tripped into the koi pond, flailing with lily pads stuck to his shirt. Poetic justice. The HOA collapsed. Residents formed a volunteer committee, with Clara as chair, threatening to read her war diary if anyone opposed her. I was reinstated as sheriff. Lily became the neighborhood's tech hero, turning down gigs from other HOAs with a quip. I only topple tyrants in my zip code. The state sealed Plot 19, but then it vanished hatch, fence, everything replaced by fresh sod overnight. A private call warned me to stop digging. A suit with no badge asked about vault samples and left in a plateless SUV. Then a letter arrived, a grainy photo of the vault being built, showing a man in a hard hat labeled Tom Reed, a missing Devon Corp inspector next to someone who looked like Hayes. On the back, in faded ink, "The anchor is not alone." I tucked it away with the EVY Denke, poured a whiskey, and stared at the sunrise. Willow Grove was healing lawns greener, kids playing, no more fines. But I knew this wasn't over. Someone, somewhere was still watching. What do you think? Was Greg just a pawn in a bigger game? Who sent that photo, and what's still buried out there? Should I keep digging, even if it means risking everything? Drop your thoughts below, hit that like button, and subscribe for more stories that'll keep you up at night.